because we got to go.
Okay.
All right, welcome to episode 2 of Talkin' Grassi. Uh,
Election special.
yeah, we're going to talk about the election special, aka family politics, episode 3 of
Yeah.
season 1, and potentially episodes 4 and 5 as well. The pre-Drake era, if you will, of this
Yeah.
show.
Oh,
And we are introduced in episode 3 to one of the main players of the show so far, at least in my experience,
eyebrows.
who
Sorry,
is
Ashley.
you call her eyebrows. That's funny. Ashley, who is a grade 8 and is we are introduced to her stepbrother Toby as well. However, Ashley, I believe, is more of the main player.
Yeah.
And
Toby's
Ashley,
like comic relief for
she
sure.
she I was thinking about this earlier. I think that Toby and his friend JT, I think that they're kind of like George Costanza and Kramer to Ashley's Elaine. That's like the dynamic I'm getting.
Ashley is not, do not disrespect my girl Elaine like that. I'm sorry. I'm not an Ashley stan. And especially like
I don't like Ashley either.
she's just constantly doing my girl, my goat, Liberty Van Zant dirty. Like,
Okay, we'll get into Liberty in
okay.
a second. Um, but yeah, so Ashley is running for student council president,
And
and
she's
she
running
seems to be the shoe
unopposed.
in. She's running on a post, right? I mean, she's the favorite, odds-on favorite. I mean, I believe she's supposed to be like smart, and I guess she's
I don't
popular-ish
think
at least.
she's like a mean
Um,
girl.
I think she's dating Drake, I believe.
She
So,
is
I mean,
dating Drake.
these are all plus points for
Yeah.
Ashley, really. And there's really,
Well,
I mean, who's going to beat her in a race? No one, so no one's going to run against her.
and also I want to address something about the podcast. It's not I'm not calling you out. We've both been doing it, but like I think calling him Drake instead of Jimmy like really discredits the thespian level work he's doing to really disappear into this role. So I think we should refer to
Right.
him as
Sorry,
Jimmy
Jimmy.
going
Well, I don't know
forward.
his name yet. I don't know his name. I haven't
Oh
gotten
right.
to the part where he's Jimmy. I know the
Oh,
actor.
okay, Aubrey.
So I will start to say Jimmy. I'm
I
sorry.
want to give him some respect because he's a musical artist, but he's also a lot more than that. There's some
I
artists out
know. I
there
know.
like Kendricks that can only do music kinda, and they can make good music when they hire like Robert Glasper and Kamasi Washington, and then they make mustard after that. But like I
A
think Drake
minor.
a mustard that shit sucks. And then like tell him Kendrick Diddy, literal worst song of the year.
All right, so
Okay,
Ashley, she's
sorry, no
running for
Kendrick
president,
talk.
right? Now this is a big
Yeah,
deal. I mean, to be president, that's it's no laughing matter here. So her stepbrother Toby is a bit annoyed uh
yeah,
with Ashley just because they are step siblings, right?
yeah,
And they kind of both just aren't happy that about the situation. They're not. I mean, there's a lot to uncover here, I think, especially as the season goes on, about
yeah,
their relationship with their family, and what it means to be family, things like this. This is a big theme, but as of now, all we see is disdain between the two of them, like having to share a bathroom, having to share their parents. I don't know. What
yeah.
do you make of their relationships and just this opening in this episode?
I mean, it seems pretty strained. Also, like they're recent step siblings, it's like they're living in each other's house. I think they may have even been going to school together before that.
Right, right.
And I know like Ashley feels that her mom is making a lot of efforts to accommodate, Toby and not her. And then
Right.
Toby feels like he's dealing with Ashley, which is honestly valid because I mean, my bias is going to shine through a lot in this episode. And there's some stuff I'm not going to spoil, but I hate Ashley. I hate her so much.
She is the main girly though, and we have to respect her for that.
I mean, it should be Liberty though, but
I
okay.
don't know. Okay, well, we'll get into Liberty later. Now,
Well, I don't want to make
Toby,
any.
Toby, Toby is best friends with this little kid, this little twerp,
Yeah,
JT.
JT's a little fucker. Sorry
We do
about
not
that.
like JT around here. He's a
He's
clown.
he's
Anyways,
not in a good way though.
Toby is looking to get back at Ashley, who's running unopposed. And so Toby convinces JT, his bestie, a grade 7, mind you,
Yeah,
to run against the grade 8 Ashley, as a joke, right? Like
yeah,
she's like, you'll get to go on stage and tell all your jokes. People will laugh at you.
yeah,
And JT's like, oh, I can go on stage and get people to listen to me yap. Sounds like
yeah.
something
It's
I
the
like really
deal.
need to be doing right now, right?
Yeah,
So this kind of snowballs out of control, right? JT's running as a joke. Um, putting up posters that are like jokes, telling jokes to people in the hallway. And all of a sudden, it kind of looks like JT might actually win this.
Yeah. And I mean, JT, there's another person with the last name T that I feel like we can't not mention when we're discussing this episode. It was so prophetic to probably the most major election of our time, 2016, you know? And it's just, it really
Right.
forecasts the rise of populism where a lot of people want someone on stage that's going to make them laugh, that's going to entertain them, you know? And I
Right.
think with the rise of the internet and the decrease of our collective attention spans, it becomes more and more severe, you know?
Right. And you have this, strong belief that that Donald Trump, who you're referring to,
Yes,
only
for the folks
ran
at
in the
home.
first who only ran in the first place just to start like a podcast career.
I mean, I saw like a good bit about Mr. Trump where they were like, honestly, his calling in life was to be like, honey, you got to take that dress off and burn it. That's not for the runway. And like sit outside a runway telling people, no, don't wear that. Like, I think that was his true calling, or maybe being like a judge on Drag Race or something. Like, I think,
Right.
but, I was
He
reading
would
like a
eat on
little,
Drag Race. That's the thing,
he would be the greatest judge of all time on Drag Race.
which is so unfortunate.
It's very unfortunate. But I mean, there's like some more parallels. You know, I was reading this interesting article on like Politico or something. I could link it in the description where basically, you know, Hillary Clinton very much wanted to run against Donald Trump
Right.
because she thought Jeb Bush would appeal to like more people in the country and be a more serious threat, which in hindsight is ridiculous. And she actually
Right.
apparently instructed the media to take Mr. Trump seriously,
Wow.
which is just a little shocking, you know. And I feel like we get a little bit of that, like Ashley, where all of a sudden JT is being taken seriously. And it's like, should JT be taken seriously? You're like, what are you going to do to fix the school? He's like, I don't know, vote for me.
He says nothing. I can't do anything
Like,
because
yeah,
I don't care.
yeah. But like,
It
it
would be
also,
bad.
we kind of see that like people crave that a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Like people kind of crave someone that's just going to be funny and make them laugh, you know?
Right. And it's just so interesting that the show is able to pick up on this dynamic of like what it's like
Yeah.
to be in this type of society that we are in
Yeah.
now, and that they were able to peg this really back in 2001
Yeah. And
because this
like,
isn't necessarily a new thing. This has been going on forever. People really are drawn to charismatic figures, whatever
I
that
mean, like
means.
the whole George Bush thing was like people were like, "Oh, I'd love to have a beer with George Bush," and then Al Gore seems like the kind of person who's going to put a bumper sticker on my truck that says "I'm killing the environment" or something, you know. And then like you know, Bill Clinton was successful because he played saxophone and cheated on his wife. Like
Mhm.
it's not a new thing, you know.
I don't think that's why he was popular, but
I think it was.
yeah, probably. That probably for some people that probably did gain him points.
Yeah,
Um, so it is very interesting that they went this far and did a really great job
yeah.
showing this. However, in the ending, JT obviously didn't win. He bowed out of the race after he
Well,
got his laughs on
he bowed
stage.
out. You're forgetting that Ashley bribed him.
Ashley bribed him.
Ashley,
Ashley
and she bribed him with $80, which for
80
someone that
80 80
$80,
CAD in the year of 2001. I actually wonder how much that would be in
I'm looking it
American
up right
dollars.
now. So
I am
first,
too.
I'm doing
In
2000.
2001.
I'll race you.
Hold on. I don't even know how to oh my God, this is actually be so fucking hard. Hold on. 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 Hold on,
So
guys.
there's like an inflation calculator, and I think it's probably easiest to first convert.
0.64564. And then we times that by per one Canadian dollar. So we multiply that by $80, I believe.
Hold on.
$51, I believe. I believe it is $51 that USD that she offered, essentially.
Okay, but no, no, because I went on the Canadian inflation calculator, and it says that 80 Canadian dollars in 2001 would be 134 Canadian dollars
Oh,
in
it doesn't work the other
2025.
way.
Yeah, it's not less, it's more. That's why
It's
it's
more.
inflation
Wow.
instead of
100,
deflation. For the folks
$120,
at
you said?
home, yeah, 130 Canadian. So I'm doing it to US. That's $96. That's basically $100 US, which like in middle school, $100 felt like a lot. Now
Yes,
it
and
now
it
it really
was
doesn't. Unfortunately, you get like $100 and you spend $10 and it's gone.
literally, literally
Just
get
like
groceries and
disappears.
you're in debt.
Yeah, I'm excited. I think I should start taking advantage of the Chipotle pay over time feature. Have you seen that?
See that.
You can pay 250 over 4 months. I know it's off
Oh,
topic for the podcast, but there's like this parody. There's like this parody car dealer page I've been seeing on Instagram where he's like, another soul harvested. Tell me what you put down. And the person's like, $20,000. How much is your monthly payment? $1,000. How long is it for? Life. Sorry, that's off topic. Cut that.
no, 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 we can't cut that. We can't cut that.
Yeah, Degrassi
So
cast.
we're here in Degrassi cast actually as
Yeah.
bribing JT. He drops out and Ashley wins. Ashley gets what
Yeah.
she wants, right? And I don't know. What do you think this says? What do you think this ending says about about society, about populism, about all
I
this?
mean, it's like, I think it's interesting that the anti-populist candidate, because like Ashley, I hate her, but she does seem to have some concrete policies that she's prepared to try to make the school a better place in her own way.
Yes.
And it's like, but it's a very morally ambiguous ending because like, if you bribed a candidate to drop out, like if Hillary Clinton had bribed Donald Trump to drop out in 2016, would that be ethical? Would that solve the initial problems with our system of government and our system of democracy that's relatively light, Like it's very hard to say. Like
Yeah.
it's just it feels like, people have always said like the lesser of two evils my entire life. And it feels like that's almost what happened, because like JT would probably I don't think JT even wanted to be president, you know.
No, he didn't.
He was forced to do it,
Yeah.
and he was
His
caught up in
friend
some
forced him
petty
to do it as a
family.
joke. Yeah, literally.
It was a joke, but it wasn't really a joke. It was him trying to get back at his sister, and
Literally.
at the end they do get like a nice little moment of bonding. I did appreciate that. The two most obnoxious walking nerd emoji, Toby, and then eyebrows Ashley bonded a little bit. Like I mean, it is hard because this whole episode, I was like, "There's just lucky Jimmy wasn't running, man.
He should have.
It'd be
Yeah, he
Jimmy
should have.
sweep." I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Jimmy
I mean,
Sweep, not even close.
I
But
can't wait
it would
for
be
the
weird to
Jimmy.
run against. It would be weird to run against your girlfriend.
Yeah,
I
they
mean, it
were
was weird in
confirmed
2020,
girlfriends
right?
right then.
It was
Joe
weird
Biden and Trump.
When Biden versus Trump. That was
Well,
weird. That was
I don't
awkward.
think they
Sexual
were
tension
really
off,
like
off the
boyfriends. I think they
charts.
were more just like star-crossed lovers that could. It
Yeah.
was never meant to be, but I'm sure they shared a couple
It
warm and
was it
beautiful
was
nights
very
together.
like it was very like girls so confusing like
Yeah,
vibes, right?
it's giving like white Ferrari vibes, where he's like, I care for you still, but I can't be with you.
Right.
That's what
Forever.
it's very sad. I wish we could have seen more of those two together. Their chemistry was really electric on screen.
Biden
And
and
it was
Trump.
like, yeah, and like even like you saw like
It was
Biden
beautiful.
when Trump won, instead of supporting Kamala, he ran to Trump and put on like a MAGA hat. Like he had to support his friend.
Okay. Um, so in episode three, we are introduced to the other side characters of the show. First, we are introduced to like the grade eights, like Ashley's friends, such as what's her name? Erica? What's her name? Harry? Harry.
Are you talking about the guy that was like, "Get out of here, nerd," while
No,
Aubrey
no, no, no,
stood
no, no.
next to him?
That's like Spinner, I think. But I'm
I
talking Carrie, who's like Ashley's like bestie, who I
Oh, her. Like, I'm
right.
sorry for the future. This has been a little unprofessional. I'm gonna have to start taking notes on these next episodes of just like
Yeah,
who
Terry
the kid because
McGregor.
there's a lot of characters in this show. There's like a lot of characters. It's a
There's
large
definitely
ensemble cast. It seems
for
like the
sure.
there's like 10 major characters, it feels like.
Right. And they kind of what makes it feel really big is that they kind of rotate perspectives. So
Yeah.
it's not
Yeah.
just the Ashley show, even though sometimes I make it
Yeah.
seem that way. It really is like everyone does get their turn.
Yeah, and like
So
Ashley will be a
Terry,
side character in someone else's story,
yes,
and
very
then
true.
she'll get her own episode. It's kind of
And
nice.
we get the Terry story is in the dance episode, which I believe is episode 4. And Terry and Ashley are kind of like best friends. And then
Yeah.
the dynamic that I'm catching is that the tertiary friend here is Paige,
Yeah.
who comes to school like with a new style. Like she's trying to be very popular. She's trying to be very trendy in her
Yeah.
style, and she becomes comes back pretty mean, right? She treats people pretty badly.
Yeah.
She's a true brat, I would say. Um,
Which it's definitely that feels like a trap that a lot of people fall into at that age.
yeah,
And I am
absolutely.
confident that Paige will grow out of it. I'm not
I hope
confident
so.
that
I
eyebrows
hope
will grow
so.
out of it, but I mean, let me
I,
stop letting my
well,
personal
I don't think that's
bias.
as much of a problem for Ashley as it is for
Yeah.
Paige.
I
But
mean,
um,
Ashley's like she seems like my read on Ashley is she's like she puts in an effort to be nice and she like does try to do, but she's also like mean in general. So it's
maybe
like
yeah. I mean,
so
it's all
Paige is like
perspective.
trying to be mean. Well, I'm sorry. Once you watch the episode 7,
Yeah, I'm
I'm
not there
sorry.
yet. I'm not there
I'm
yet.
sorry. No spoilers.
No
I've watched too
spoilers. No
far, and my
spoilers.
bias against Ashley is just one episode after another. And then episode 8, my God, I was screaming at the fucking screen. I was so mad.
Okay, so we get this kind of dynamic between the grade eights and the other grade eights to watch out for are going to be Jimmy,
Yeah,
which is Aubrey Graham, Spinner,
my profile.
Spinner's kind of a bully, but
He's a
he
spinner.
had a crush on Terry, and then eventually was dancing with Paige, who Paige
Spinner
was
does not seem
jealous.
very bright to me,
No,
honestly.
not at all, not at all. Paige was getting jealous of Terry. Paige is jealous of pretty much anything that
Yeah,
can move at this point. She seems to be very insecure.
yeah.
And so those are the main characters of grade 8, and we are introduced to the other grade 7s, which is Liberty Van Zant
The goat,
and Sean Cameron, whoever
Sean
that's the
Cameron.
kid who like sits next to Emma, I
Oh,
believe. Who I'm not really sure what's going on with Sean, I'm gonna be real. But
I don't think Sean is going to be that consequential. If I'm being honest.
you know, who knows?
I mean,
Now,
you never
apparently, I
know. Like
was
the beauty of a show like this is a character could be minor, and then like
exactly.
they could
And
turn
then
into one
all
of
of a
the
sudden,
largest players.
yes, absolutely. And that's really the genius of Degrassi, The Next
Yeah, no,
Generation, season one.
I'm definitely gonna be taking notes. This episode I watched it while well, not the election one, but the dance one I watched while fighting Godfrey on level 1 on the
An
on
Elden
my
Ring, an Elden Ring.
an
That's an
Elden
Elden Ring
Ring.
reference.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it's like you got to lock in on level 1. It's like no jokes. I found
Yes.
level 1 was terrible for streaming.
That's fair. So episode
That's
4 is
yeah,
this dance episode where Ashley, as student council president, puts on a little dance event. It's at
yeah,
night, and obviously social politics is a huge thing here. We see Terry,
yeah,
who's self-conscious about her weight, doesn't
yeah.
want to
She
go
doesn't
because
want to even go.
she doesn't want to go, but she gets kind of forced, peer pressured into doing it, and she ends up having a bit too much to drink before Paige kind of, you know, terrible friend vibes. She just
Yeah,
feeds her wine after wine after wine, and she shows up shit faced.
and that's pretty young to be drinking. Like
Absolutely, grade 8. Come
grade
on,
8. Like I don't think I'd ever drank in grade 8. I don't know about you, but
not in grade 8. I'll tell you
not in
that.
grade 8. But
And anyways, this is the there's not too much going on here. There's obviously like a
don't
lot of
J isn't this
themes.
the one where JT and
Yeah, I feel like we
Toby
shouldn't
look
even
at we
talk about
should
that
let's
one.
leave that one alone.
They go on the family computer and get up to some hijinks. You can
Yeah.
imagine what
Some
type of hijinks.
well, the second the second worst family computer hijinks you can possibly get in the
Pretty
show. There's a lot
much.
of family computers, a huge theme in the show,
Yes,
it
but
seems
I don't
like.
think we shouldn't go into that one.
Yeah, let's leave that one
Um,
alone. You can watch the show and see what we're referring to if you really
yes, this
want
is
to.
episode 4, but
Yeah.
whatever. This is my least favorite episode so far, but
Yeah.
It is good to get Terry's characterization. It's good to get Paige's characterization. This is I think it's pretty good
Yeah.
overall. And
It's nice to see we get to see Ashley in like go mode where she's really focused on being president in the
right,
last
right.
episode, and now we get to see a little more of like what Ashley's like as a person, like
Yeah,
what she's like. It's kind of nice to see. I
absolutely.
mean,
And this is trivia fact. This is the first episode to feature all of the main characters, which is quite rare for Degrassi because it has such a large ensemble cast. That comes right from the wiki, by the way.
I was just gonna ask you read that right off the wiki, right?
Word for word.
But isn't this the
Word
one
for
where
word.
Drake just like sits there and like looks and doesn't say anything? Sorry, Aubrey, I broke my own rule.
Jimmy.
I'm sorry, Jimmy. I'm sorry. Well, we don't know his name yet.
No, he has some words because there's this kid,
Oh,
Sean, right? And now Sean was a grade eight, or he should be in grade eight, but he got like held back or something. Anyways, he used to be friends with Jimmy, and Jimmy goes, "Hey
yeah.
man, it's okay, like we can still be friends." And Sean's like, "Shut up! Don't remind me! Stop reminding me!"
Oh my god, I can't wait to see how that resolves. I
Yeah, I'm
completely forgot
excited.
about that. Like even in a
I'm
down
excited.
episode like that one, they'll leave a gem that we know is going to be like
It's gonna
an
come back.
all-time episode.
Yeah, right. And so yeah, we do get some moments from Jimmy. We obviously see him with Ashley a little bit, seeing this as a
Yeah.
romantic dance and all. But let's go to the main, not the main episode, but the next episode, which is episode five, which is called Parents' Day, where we get a little bit more nuance to the Toby Ashley relationship and also just the relationship mainly between Toby's parents and his home life. Um, which is oh yeah, and the whole news about kids morning announcement thing was the whole thing
Yeah.
as well. What do you
Oh,
make
that
from
that one.
Parents' Day?
Wait, is that the one where her dad comes back?
That is where Toby's mom comes to the Parents' Day with his dad, and they argue in front of the teacher, kind of like a parent
Uh,
teacher type thing. Do you remember this?
Not really, because I'm sorry, there's another episode with her dad that comes later that kind of steamrolls it.
Who's dad? Ash's dad?
Ashley's dad, yes.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
looking
this
it
is
up.
not
I'm
this
on I'm
episode.
on IMDb right now.
Oh, good. Well, in this
I'm on
episode,
IMDb.
Toby's parents basically they just constantly bicker. They are split, right? And so
Yeah. Okay,
so
so that's Toby's parents are different than Ashley's parents.
yes, they are different. Well, they share.
Yeah,
Well,
they share the mother.
anyways, right. Kind of. Anyways, so basically, Toby's parents fight. That's about it. This
Yeah.
episode is fun. And it deals with some heavy topics, I would say. But I think for our purposes, there's not too much to necessarily analyze
Yeah.
here. It's
And I mean
pretty
like
straightforward.
looking on IMDb, the rating bumps up by about a half point on average as soon as Aubrey gets in the starring role.
Well, the thing is that he was stealing the show anytime he was on the screen. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah,
Like,
and like I just want to say, uh season 6 episode 7 Basketball Diaries, absolutely
season
classic.
season
Season
one.
1 episode 7,
Yeah,
absolutely classic.
I'm
Well,
excited.
season 6 is episode 6 is such a there's so much to discuss in that one. It has
I'm excited.
Drake, like, sorry, Aubrey. It's so hard because he's such a superstar, Like, I can't go anywhere without hearing Nokia, which is a such a
Right,
banger.
right. And okay, we don't have to talk about Nokia right
Yeah.
now. Anyways,
That would
the
be that would
other.
be a whole nother 45-minute episode, just breaking down like the harmonic movement and all the nuanced lyrics. And so
Okay,
it's
so
like,
also in this episode, we see this whole news about kids thing. Basically, Emma is kind of annoyed about this like little news segment that they're forced to watch during homeroom. She doesn't think,
yeah.
she doesn't think it's worth it just because this news about kids donated these nice computers. Now they have to be force-fed advertisement during their homeroom, essentially. And she's
Now,
pretty annoyed. She writes an opinion piece about it, but then she learns that there's always more sides to the story when she like writes a whole article or something, and then
yeah.
she gets this guy reads it and he's just like this is so privileged, essentially. This is a very privileged opinion. We need those computers
Well,
because we need them to do like our homework and to all this stuff. Anyways,
I
go
don't
ahead.
really know if it's even fair to call Emma. There's like really a lot of sides to this story. Like I almost feel like Emma's acute trauma could potentially be, you know, affecting her more cynical and nihilistic worldview that we see in this episode.
Yes, and this is very true. And the thing is that we don't get to see her before
Yeah.
the incident, right? We only know her after the
Well,
trauma, more or
during
less.
and after. I feel
During and
like we get to see a
after.
little peek and she seems very optimistic, and now she's just like, oh, that's so wrong that we have to watch this. They're forcing us to watch. It feels like it's very almost tragic to see her trust in like institutions and just everything in general be completely eroded. And
Right,
so it's
right,
like,
right.
and I'm wondering like where else they could go with the Emma story, because this feels like, I know in the last episode you said it feels like they kind of brushed over her incident, but maybe they didn't.
Right, because this whole thing shapes her whole perspective for the rest of the
Yeah, and
show.
I mean it's very tragic, and I'm like I'm just worried about what other kids could have some other tragic story, you know,
Right,
that has already happened to them in this
right, and
school,
we
you
don't
know?
and we don't know about it, which is
Yeah,
very possible.
but yeah, it's just it does feel like Emma's quite a bit different in this one.
Absolutely.
And
I mean,
like,
her whole demeanor shifts in this
yeah,
episode.
which is I mean, but I do want to say like what a grounded and nuanced way to do that. Like Degrassi, it almost like it feels like every show for adults I watch that's not like done by HBO or someone that has like a budget is like forcing every single exposition and every single thing down your throat. And then this kids show made in 2001 in Canada is very nuanced with stuff like that occasionally. And then sometimes they aren't. but
Right.
but no, it's a very interesting. I just like I don't know. I feel like I want to like analyze everything that's going on with Emma a little harder.
I
After
know, and
because
I
at
think,
first,
as we go on in the show, I mean, it's impossible to ignore, right?
yeah, definitely. And I know like it is like a soap opera, so I know more bad stuff is going to happen because it's like
Oh,
a soap
absolutely. I
opera
mean,
first and foremost. As
it's
your
like
favorite
every
streamer would
episode,
say, it's like Twin Peaks.
Yeah, it. Right, right. Degrassi's ruined for me because
It's
of
ruined
Pretty
for
Little
me
Liars.
because
Had
it
I
has
known,
a. Had I
had I
known that
known, I should have watched Degrassi first. I would have.
I don't know. Like I feel like if you don't enjoy Twin Peaks, I can't trust you. It's so good. It's so
I
peak.
haven't seen it actually. I haven't seen it
You haven't seen
because it's
because
gonna be
I
ruined for me.
it's ruined for you because you saw some guy talk about it.
Yeah, because I heard you talk about it. If
Yeah.
I'd known I should have watched Twin Peaks first, I would have.
I mean, a Twin Peaks cast would be pretty interesting. Although I'd be like so
It would be funny
desperate to
because
spoil.
we could like shit on it the whole time. We could just be like, dude, this is trash. Like they stole
This
this from
reminds me of
Deadly Premonition.
they stole this from Degrassi when
They
there's
stole
kids
this
in when they go
from
to high
fucking
school because
Death Stranding.
it's like a high school drama almost with like the supernatural twist to it. But it's
Yeah, I hear
like
good things.
I mean it's absolutely peak. It's like it like completely changed the world of television entirely. Like Twin
Absolutely.
Peaks and Seinfeld are the two most influential shows ever, I think. And but also it ripped off Alan Wake, and so I couldn't
Yeah,
even
I
sit
know.
through it. And every time my girlfriend laughed, I was just filled with rage.
What is this? Yeah.
She's laughing.
What do you mean?
It's like
Uh,
Alan. Oh my dude, that
so
guy.
funny.
I don't know how you can stand that guy. He like
It's
actually
so
kills me.
funny
He
to me.
like activates my fight or flight reaction every time I hear him talk. He's like a level beyond. I'm like, how can you be like that? Like only and I looked up his lore, and he's apparently a failed Brandon Sanderson type fiction writer.
Well, I
So
think he
it
just quit writing. I don't think
yeah,
he
he
failed.
quit. I mean, I've read his writing in his I've heard his writing in the episode in his 4 hour Elden Ring video essays. Like I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm sure he quit, but also like what did he even like? I genuinely don't get it. Like I feel like I mean like I understand like watching someone hate watching them, but like he's just like a level beyond that for me. I'm just like, oh my god, get a
Yeah,
life,
you just
dude.
can't. You can't do it.
And
You
like
can't do it.
the saying you don't like Twin Peaks because it was like Alan Wake is just like the worst take anyone's ever done in a million years.
Okay,
It's
wait,
like
the
ever.
Grassi people
Sorry.
don't know about any of this shit. So let's end the episode
Yeah, let's end
of
the
the Grassy
episode
cast
because
episode
I
two
have to
there
go
because we get
soon.
off track so easy.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, and
so
these
this
were
was
some
pretty peak,
these are some down episodes besides
but
the
it's still
election one, I
peak.
feel like.
It's
But
still
you haven't
peak.
even seen Peak yet, Jack.
I
Oh,
know.
sorry,
I
I
honestly
doxed you.
no, but I literally have my name on the thing, and you
Yeah,
have your name
you
on
should
the
censor
thing.
that. You should censor the names.
You
Or
literally have
not.
your name on there too. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm excited for the next couple. I actually kind of like this batch of episodes. It was easier for me to watch, just because those first two episodes were just, oh my God, so
Yeah.
heavy,
A
right?
little
Um,
traumatizing.
a little bit, yeah. I mean, shoot, like I had a sinking feeling in my stomach for the whole
I
time.
mean, I did
So,
too. Even like I thought he was going to be 16, and I was still like, this is not a good dynamic.
yeah, right.
But then
And
when it's like she pretending to be like Jason's coach, and then yeah,
yeah. Anyways,
scary stuff.
so basically, we're all caught up here for me. This is all I've watched this
Yeah,
first 5 episodes. So I think maybe we'll go maybe another 5 episodes and come back. We'll
we
see
could.
if you
Well,
guys want to. If you want to watch along, all the episodes are on YouTube. We can link the
yeah.
playlist in the description so you
Well,
guys can
I would be
follow
careful about
along.
blowing up the spot because if they take that down from YouTube, I'm going to be
I think
so
it's the
upset.
official Degrassi account.
I don't think so.
You don't
I
think
can
so?
check.
I'm
I
pretty sure
thought,
it's the official
be,
account.
really? Well, in
I think
that case,
so.
Degrassi, yeah, it is. No, oh yeah, it is. It's just this other guy compiled it. They're for
Yeah.
the people.
Yeah.
I wish they
Well, I
did
mean,
that
it's
with more
25
old
years old,
shows.
so
Well, lots of old shows are just like impossible to watch. So
I
in
know.
that case,
I
we
know.
should link it.
Yeah,
But I
we'll link
really
it.
think the next episode should be episode 6 and 7, the Aubrey suite, because it's just there's going to be so much more to
There's gonna be
discuss
someone.
when the
Okay,
star
okay.
comes in.
Sounds good. Yeah. That sounds good. Okay, so I think that's gonna be episode 2. Thanks for watching, and make sure to subscribe.
Mm.
To
Like,
follow.
subscribe, comments, give us money for
Yeah,
budget.
yeah. I'll link Kai's Venmo below, and you can.
We want to buy a desk like Jimmy Fallon and then 2 armchairs like Jimmy Fallon.
And we need to buy Michael Jordan's house in Chicago.
We don't want Michael Jordan's house.
We want LeBron's house
Let's buy LeBron's house in Cleveland.
in Cleveland.
Let's
Yeah,
buy. Oh wait, I found the LeBron house in Miami. I was trying to get the Miami friends. So I was like, please drive us by it, but it was one of the Miami friends' birthday, so they didn't want to drive 45 minutes to drive by LeBron's old house.
yeah, which is totally
Insanity.
valid. I would say.
Valid.
Insanity.
He lived
I
there, dude.
Okay, that's the end of episode 2.
That's
We'll
the
see you guys later.
episode.